In this video I will teach you about Elementor's Theme Styler. Theme Styler allows you to style all your headings, paragraphs, buttons, and image widgets all at once. This saves you time from applying its styles one by one throughout your website. What if you need to change all of your H2 headings font styles? It's so hard to change it all throughout your website, especially if you have a lot of them. By using the Theme Styler, we can change all the headings styling in one place. Also your text editor widget, hyperlink styling, images, and buttons. Before we jump into our Theme Styler, we need to set two Elementor settings first. Just go to Elementor's menu, then go to Settings. Then check these two boxes. Be sure to save your changes. We check these two boxes because of Cadence theme. This may be opposite to other themes, but this is how it works for Cadence theme and Elementor. By checking these two boxes, we allow Elementor to have its own styling separate from Cadence default styling. Now, let's try to edit a page using Elementor. It doesn't matter which page you edit, you can still access Elementor's Theme Styler. Let's add a container. Let's choose this one. Now, let's drag a heading widget here. Then let's set it to H1. Then let's duplicate this heading. Then set it to H2. Duplicate this again. Then set it to H3. And duplicate it once more. Then set it to H4. You can continue up to H5 and H6 if your design required them. Then let's add a text editor widget. Then a button. Then an image. To customize the Theme Styler, just click this 3 bars icon, then go to Site Settings. Let's set our site's typography first. Let's set our website text color to black. Then its font to Poppins. There are also other stylings here in the typography, but I'll just leave it as is. Now, let's set our website's hyperlinks color to something like green. You can also set its typography, but I'll just leave it as is. Let's also set the H1's color to green. And its font to Poppins. Then I'll just repeat it for the other headings. We can also change the heading's font size per responsive mode. Let's change our H1 heading font size to smaller in tablet mode. And make it more smaller on mobile mode. Now, we can see that our H1 heading is large on desktop, and smaller on tablet mode, and much smaller on mobile mode. Next is you can style all of the buttons on your site here in the button styling area. Let's set a gradient background color to our button. Let's set the first gradient color to something like blue. Let's leave the second gradient color as is, and its angle to something like 90 degrees. I'll just leave the other styling options as is. Let's set the button's border radius to 20 pixels. I'll just not change its hover colors. The next styling I set is the image styles. I only set the border radius though. I just add a border radius to it when I want all my images to have rounded corners. But you can also add a box shadow using this option. You can also add borders to your image here using this drop-down. And the last option I set is the styling for the forms. You can set its label text color here. And its typography. Let's set it to Poppins as an example. The next option is the form fields. You can set its typography. Next is the color of the text in the form fields. The background color doesn't work though, but you can set it in the form widget itself. Not a big deal. And the other options are the border of the form fields, its border radius and its padding. There is also a setting for focus mode. It's the settings when you actually start typing inside the fields, which I usually don't change anymore, but you can if you wanted to. And I almost forgot, the form fields also has box shadow options here. And the good thing here is even though you have set the styles for your typography, buttons, images, and etc., you can still apply and customize the styling options for your individual widgets. You can still change the heading's individual text color, also for your buttons, but you must only change the background type you applied on the theme styler. If you set a gradient background, just change the gradient background on your button widget. If you only set a solid color on your button on your theme styler, you can only make it work if you just also edit your individual button's solid background color. In the form widgets though, you can't edit the colors of the button of your form. If you plan to set a different background colors to the button of your form, just disable your button's initial and hover colors from the theme styler. Here you see that even we changed the background of the button of our form widget, it didn't change its background color. This is what I'm talking about. What you can do here is just disable your button's background colors from your theme styler, like this. And now, we can change the color of the button of the form widget. You will lose the advantage of setting a background color for all of your buttons from the theme styler though. In this case, you can just set a background color directly from each button widget you create. Or you can just duplicate the buttons after you have customized it. I think this is a bug. I hope Elementor will fix this in the future, so we can just override the form widget's button background colors directly from the Widget Style tab, without disabling the background color for our buttons from the theme styler. And this is the end of this video.